Hey guys, Like here. As you can see, I need to shave again a bit. But anyway, so moving on. So today we're going to talk about simps. And just in case you don't know what a simp is somebody that will do nice things for people that are not interested in them. They do the dishes for them, they clean their laundry, you name it. They try to do all these little nice things for them. They get them their coffee, even when they don't ask, etc. And out of all this, these people expect these people in particular to eventually be interested in them. Now, I'm going to just read a comment here. This is part of the reason why I've been making this video. I was going to make it anyway, but a comment just actually came up an hour or two ago. Here it is. So I put a comment on a video. It was made by a lady called, I think Courtney Ryan is her name actually. And when I put a comment on her video, I won't read my comment out for you guys. But then a week later today, this guy put a comment on mine and he said this: I've almost given up looking for love, yes. I'm a nice guy. And this is the way that he is typing it, by the way. But I'm not a simp or doormat. I'm sick of being treated like crap by women don't how to appreciate a nice guy. Like I've stated, this is the way he's typing it. I work hard. I put a root, have a roof under my head, my own head, own my own place. And I've been through many relationships and I've given a lot and I'm tired of it. Women need to be hard for me to find. Oh, wait, I skipped a line there. Women need to learn how to love and stop treating men badly. It doesn't need to be hard for me to find love, but you women like to make it hard for reasons I don't understand. I wonder if I should kill myself if the world would be a better place without. I'm tired of being along. Nothing wrong with me. I think he was, when he typed along, I think he was trying to type down alone. That he's tired of being alone. I'm not trying to make this guy look bad, but like I seriously am not. But okay, I'm going to look over his text here real quick and just kind of try to part it out here. So, in a nutshell, this guy is stating that he is a nice guy and not a simp, yet he is expecting women to just give sex or relationships to him just because he's a nice guy. Now, if that's not a simp, then I don't know what a simp is. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'd say that's about 100% what a simp is somebody that talks like this. Now, I understand that, sometimes society teaches us to expect everything from life. But the thing is that life and Mother Nature legally don't owe us anything. Now, you might be seeing some rich guys with ladies, but let me tell you something. There are a lot of richer people that I've met that they are literally just paying for the women to be with them to show off. I had even actually happened to talk with a lady yesterday, in fact, who I've been talking to recently and made friends with recently. She stated how she was actually having a hard time getting into a relationship herself. And that every time she did get into a relationship, she seemed to be with some guy that just wanted to show her off like she was a trophy. And, I've been hearing stuff like this from guys. And then yesterday, I just talked to a woman who also talked about having a hard time finding a relationship. And I don't know, it just baffles me sometimes, I guess I would say. I wouldn't say it's funny at least, but it sometimes just baffles me seeing both sides of the picture frame, to say the least. But yeah, just never ever expect anything from people. Don't if and another thing, if you're not a nice guy, don't act like a nice guy. If you're not a bad boy, then don't act like a bad boy. And don't just expect sex from people or relationships. And also, don't tell people you're going to kill yourself, because when you say stuff like that, it just makes people think that you're a bit of a whiner that's trying to get attention. Now, I'm not going to say that this guy is in particular, but a lot of people would probably say something like that about this person, that they are just a whiner. I'm not saying that, but a lot of people are going to look at it like that, just so you know. And just like I told him, he has a message me back, but I sent a message to him back stating the fact that a lot of people just in general, like I said, are actually having a hard time finding a real relationship. And most of the time when people get into relationships, they eventually break up over a decade or two, even if it's a long, you know, hefty, relationship. And I don't know why people always expect, I would say some people like this, they expect relationships to just last until death do us part. Now, that might have been what we were taught growing up, but I've had to forget a lot of things growing up because I've learned over time a lot of things that I was taught when I was younger weren't really true. And this is just one of these things that was not true. Lots of people actually break up before they, death do us part. But, just think, I mean, if you've been with a person for like 10, 20, 30 years, my uncle and my aunt have actually been together for over 30 years now, actually. And I asked them, because my parents were together for 22 years and they broke up, which is still a pretty long time when you really think about it. People change after a decade or two. And, plans change, interests change, goals change, etc. We change just in general. I mean, I'm kind of different from the way I was 10 years ago. And so for, my aunt and uncle to still be together like they are is, kind of a miracle in itself. Now, they are kind of religious as well, but, that still doesn't explain why they're still together. Because even a lot of Christians actually break up over a decade or two. Because both my parents were Christian as well. And so, and another thing, like, relationships are very different from the way that they used to be. Back when they made marriage and made it a thing, people only lived about, like, I mean, like, what, 20, 30 years on average when they first made up marriage. And nowadays, we can easily enough live to 70 to 80 years old, even 100 nowadays. It seems like it's easy enough to live that kind of, life. Now, I would say making it to 100 years old is still a bit of a challenge, but, as technology gets better, as we progress, we are living on average longer and longer and longer. 50 years old used to be like really ancient in the past, over a couple hundred years ago. That used to be like fucking ancient. But nowadays, it's just old. 50 is just old now. It's not ancient like it used to be, but of course, enough about that. The point is, the death do us parts deal with marriage and relationships just isn't really there like it used to be. We live so much longer than we used to, and it makes it very hard for us to just, stay with each other, to say the least, again. So, I mean, there's I could probably write a book on this subject right now to you guys. But of course, I'm not going to do that right now because, we're going on 10 minutes here right now, as you can see in the video. And so I guess I'm just going to stop it here pretty soon. But just so you guys know, like, again, just because you haven't found a long-term relationship doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. That's just how a lot of people are nowadays. People think that relationships are just burdens nowadays. Just like I was telling the lady I was talking to last night. Relationships are, we're taught that, relationships are burdens nowadays from society. And it has discouraged a lot of people from getting into marriage and into relationships nowadays, especially long term. Because the society and the people that own this country want people to think that they live at work, and they want them to consume, whether it's video games, shit that you don't need, etc. They want people to consume and think that they live at work. So that they think that's, or should I say, they want us to think that and I know this is going to sound a bit crazy, but it is at least kind of true to an extent. That I've noticed a lot of places seem to think, especially workplaces, seem to think that, they just see us as a resource, is how they see us, basically. And that we are a resource to be used, is the best way that I could put it. Now, right now, there are 7.6 billion people on this planet. So, in a sense, your chances of finding a good relationship with somebody are actually kind of good, in a sense. But at the same time, there's too many people on this planet. And just like I was also telling that lady last night, a lot of guys want to act like they're on top of the food chain, which is the reason why they wanted to show her off when she was in relationships. And what else should I say? But yeah, there's a lot of men out there, they don't really care for like a good, honest relationship. They just want to show off the people that don't really care about them. Or they want to show off to their coworkers at work, or, they want to act like there's nothing wrong with them. Hey, look at me. There's nothing wrong with me. I have this lady next to me, blah, blah, blah. That's how a lot of relationships just are nowadays. It's more of a, yeah, it's almost like a job, basically. And of course, she agreed with me that, it is kind of like that. That a lot of people are just downright being discouraged to get into relationships nowadays. And that being some of the reason. As well as many other things that we talked about last night. Oh my god. But anyway. And what else did I say? Well, I mean, I guess at this point I'll just stop the video because I'm just going to keep on going on and on and on. And I'll just let you guys post what you think in the comments, etc. Because like I said, I could write a book on this subject right now. And again, don't be a simp. Okay? It does not work. So, that being said, I'll just end this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.